He just ripped it off the wall. Didn't even ask whose it was or whether or not they wanted it saved. Threw it right in the trash. Lousy Canuck. I got him back. This is a review for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. What can I say about this film? Well, it was better than Crystal Skull. And that's about all I can say about this film. I'd be honest, I thought it was kind of forgettable. It wasn't a terrible movie, it's just kind of bland, you know? And like I said, I think a lot of people are going to say that this movie is great because it was better than Crystal Skull. It's this kind of phenomenon in movies where you've got one movie, maybe it's part of a series or a franchise, and it's just absolutely terrible. And then when they do a follow-up and it's a little better, you say, oh, that film was great, but you're just basically saying that because that last one, the one before it, was terrible. I see that with sort of like Godzilla 2014, which I hated. And then, you know, a few years later, they make, you know, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and they fixed a few problems that, you know, people had with that last Godzilla film, and it's like, oh, it's great. But, you know, in honesty, it's just better than that one that everyone thought was shit. And I think that's kind of the case with this. I just thought this movie was forgettable. I mean, I saw it a few hours ago, and it's like, what did I watch again? It doesn't stick with the mind. Let's do some positives. You know, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I like her. I like her character. I like the lines that they gave her. She was funny. She was great in this. Everything else, I don't know, it's just boring. You know, like the MacGuffin, the Dial of Destiny that, you know, he's after. It's not really explained as to what the fuck it is. You know, it's got something to do with time features. But it's like, does it cause them? Because that's what I was thinking it was going to do. I kind of walked into this knowing, spoiler alert, that time travel was going to play into the plot. But I thought there was going to be more of it. You know, it's just they say, oh, these rips in time, this thing tells you where to go towards them. Like, whoa, we're just going to gloss over the rips in time? Anyway, like I said, that was just somewhat confusing and boring. You had these characters in it who work for the CIA, who are working with this ex-Nazi, and he has his own henchmen. They kind of disappear through the story. What was the purpose of even having them? And, you know, as far as the actual antagonist, the ex-Nazi, kind of boring, kind of bland, not even like one-dimensional. he could have been any other group. Just some guy who wants to go back in time and change a few things, which was also confusing as to what his motivation was when they revealed it. It's like he wants to go back, spoiler alert once again, and kill Hitler, even though he's a Nazi. And it's like, it sort of makes sense because, you know, in his mind, Hitler sucked and he just did a terrible job, so he wants to go back in time and kill Hitler, and then he thinks the Nazis are going to win. So getting past, you know, how the death of Hitler would affect the Nazis, it's like, well, then what does he think he's going to take over? No, they're going to kill him right away. And, you know, it's like who takes over? Goering, Himmel? Like, does he think one of those guys would do a better job? They all sucked, right? Anyway, like I said, the film itself, it's better than Crystal Skull, so I guess we should all be happy that they finish with a better movie, but it seemed unnecessary. I base my ratings on movies on how much I pay to see it. Like $8.50 is a standard price for a movie ticket now versus how much I thought it was actually worth it. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to dock it down to about $5 because this movie is just forgettable. That's really all I can say about it. I mean, it's better than Crystal Skull.